Hi Leo, welcome to your monthly tarot reading with me, Raphael Ray from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. So, let me bless both of these decks with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So, I am a Leo Ascendant, as many of you know by now. So this will be relevant for me too. Don't forget to check out whatever your own sun, moon or ascendant signs may be. Well, obviously sun sign, but you know what I mean. Okay, so your actions and your interactions with the world at large this month. Ooh. I have the Five of Swords. So Leo, you are not here for it at all this month. Which will be an interesting thing to see. So the Five of Swords usually talks about fraught communication. It usually talks about the small battles that you go through in the grand scheme of the war. The only thing is, when I see this card, I always say to people, don't let any situation or person force you to compromise who you are at a core level in order to say that you won. And what I mean by that is, as an example, there are those of you who don't swear. And if you get into an argument with someone and they force you to swear at them about anything or whatever, there would be a part of you that thought, oh, do you know what? I never do that and I can't believe I did it. And you feel like you've compromised a bit of who you are in order to say that you've won that argument. And this is why I say, when I see this card, I always say to people, stand for yourself, say what you have to say, you know, and if the communication gets tense between you, then you know what, absolutely stand your ground. Don't, however, overstep your own mark. That's not to say don't overstep the mark for anybody else or the situation or whatever, the environment you're in. It's nothing to do with that. It really isn't. What this is about is whatever the mark is for yourself, whatever that point is for yourself where you say, you know what, that's a line that I'm unwilling to cross. This month you have to be really clear on that so that you don't cross that mark and then start to think to yourself, do you know what, I wish I hadn't done that, just for the sake of saying I won. So yeah, the Five of Swords, fraught communication, but it falls in your actions and your interactions. And this is why I said at the beginning, Leo is not here for it this month. Any challenges that come your way this month, you are very likely to stand firm. You are very likely to say exactly what you think, exactly what you feel. It's kind of like, the way that I'm feeling this is, not that Leo has a filter, but Leo is very charm offensive. You know, we're out into who we are. And you know, you very often won't you know, approach something, you know, Leo's, if you watch a lion when it hunts, actually they're very smart. They're very, you know, they won't just go straight up to you know, a gazelle or whatever it is that they're chasing. They will stalk the prey and they will watch and they will figure out the best time, the best moment to pounce, to chase, to do all of that stuff. And this month, that's not going to be you. It's not going to be that. It's just going to be swift. This is what it is. This is not what it is. I'm doing this or I'm not doing that. There's not going to be any in between. There won't be any stalking the prey this month. It will just be, this is what I want, give it to me. Oh, I don't want that, I'm not having it. So that's why I say, you know, Leo is not here for it this month. They really, you know, I'm actually a little bit worried as well, because I know how forthright I can be. And you know, under this energy as well, it's saying that your actions and your interactions, you're just not going to have time for it this month. You know, you're going to call it like you see it, and you will be walking your walk 100%. I don't think there will be much talk, to be honest. I think you will just, you know, in all aspects of your life, you're going to be like, I'm going this way, are you coming? And that will be it. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because, you know, I think for Leos, you've had so much internal, or we've had so much internal shifting going on of late. I think it will be nice for us to get back to this kind of, you know, this is who I am, be on board or don't be on board. But either which way, I'm going to be fine. Don't worry about that. So yeah, interesting. Lots of change happening this month as well. 5 in numerology and in tarot represents change, and usually fast, tumultuous change. So lots and lots of big shifts will be happening on the external front because you will be making them happen, Leo. Your money and your materials in the month of May. Let's see what is in store. Okay, interesting. So you get the Four of Pentacles. Now the Four of Pentacles, some people say like, oh, it's holding on too tightly to money, or, you know, it's being stubborn, which Leos can be because they're a fixed sign, you know, fixed fire. So very stubborn and very, you know, vibrant about what it is that they want to stand for and what it is that they won't have. Now your money and your materials talks very, very deeply about what you have, about what you own. It can be your physical body, it can be your car, it could be your home as well. You know, these are the things that sort of start to become important and be highlighted, and especially under the astrological climate as well this month. It's interesting that the number 4 comes up and the number 4 of Pentacles. So 4 is Saturn, which is all to do with structure, organization, making the most of what you have, but also putting the best of yourself into what you're doing. Excuse me. And then you have the Pentacles, which is Earth, which is, you know, so you've got an Earth card in the Earth sector, which is awesome because it gives you that extra weight, it gives you that extra power. This will be the month actually where you start to see a boost in finances. This will be the month where you start to see money just come into you. The way that the words that I'm actually hearing in my head are, this month you are a lightning rod for money. You know, whatever it is that you've been doing, maybe it's this newfound confidence, maybe it's this newfound sort of assertiveness that takes place. And just as an interesting aside to dip into the astrology, Mars will be going into Aquarius, which is my sun sign, but also it's the 7th house for Aquarius, for Leo. Now when you have you know, any planet move into your 7th house, it's about your relationships, it's about your, you know, your opposite in the world. But the other thing is, the 7th house is also known as the house of known opposition. So this could be, you know, or business partners, but it could also people that you have not necessarily enmity with, but people that represent a challenge for you. It's like the, you know, if you were a sports person, it would be the guy next to you that you're racing. If you were, you know, a dancer, it would be that other person that, you know, is always in the final shortlist between you and them of who gets the part. This is about people that you know, that are, you know, that kind of will force you to push yourself to your best, so that you are the one that will achieve something. So it's about the known opposition in the world. And because you've got Mars going into that sector in May, this is very much going to be, you know, the way that I'm feeling it, this is very much going to be, it brings a lot of passion and energy to that house, because that's what Mars is. It's fire, it's vibrance, it's passion. And the fact that it goes into that sector and you know, you've got this newfound confidence, this is you like, you know what, I'm a win that. And because I can see who my open enemies are, not open enemies, you know, who I can see who my competition is, and because I can see who my competition is, I'm going to win this. I'm not backing down from this. I'm not taking no for an answer. And the fact that this happens in your 7th house means that you will get the best out of your business partnerships. You will get the best out of your interactions. The fact that you've got the 4 of Pentacles in your money and your materials kind of says to me that if you want that promotion, this is the time to go for it. If you want more money, this is the time to speak up and say, look, you know what, this is what I want, this is what I'm having. You know, it's kind of like I said, you're a lightning rod for money. And this will be the month where, you know, if you have a business, this will be the month where you could really convince people to invest in you. This will be the month where you can say to people, you know what, you give me this and I'm going to give you that in return. And it will be beneficial for all of us. But yeah, this card, a lot of people see this as, and it can be stubbornness, absolutely. But I personally feel that this is going to be the next 4 months from May onwards, the next 4 months for Leos is going to be a time where money and abundance just kind of come in and come in and come in and come in. What I want to say to you is what's really important is that you do not waste this opportunity, and you do not waste the money that comes to you. And I say this because this 4 months is going to be a time of real growth, of real abundance, you know, that the universe grants and gifts you. And for you to waste that and squander it would be a real shame. Blessings like that don't come very often, so be wise when they do. Okay, so your communications with the world at large. Okay, so you have the Death card. Interesting, because you know your money and your materials are saying you're a lightning rod for money and finances. Your communications is saying transformation. Your communications is saying change. This is going to be a big change and I kind of got to say this again. You know, I'm a Leo rising, so this stands for me too. Leos love to be seen. They love to be known for what it is that they do, what it is that they have. You know, they like that persona. They like that sort of, you know, they have that pride, that look at me. That's, you know, a big thing with the hair and all the rest of it. And I can assure you, when I was younger, I had a lot of hair and I had no qualms about flaunting it and having all kinds of crazy hairstyles and whatnot. You know, that was me living my Leo ascendant. This will be the month where you start to, and it's interesting because you've got the number 13 here, simplify numerology, which gives you 4. So you've already had 1 4, stability, slow, relentless progress towards what it is that you want, towards having what it is that you want, discipline, organization, you know, cross your T's, dot your I's, do things the right way. Your communications have transformation. The Death card is ruled by Scorpio, which is about the deep. It's about knowing things at a really core level, knowing things at a really deep level. Your actions and your interactions, you're not standing for none of it. You are going to be so aware of your own personal motivations this month. That is unreal. And in having that clarity about and around what your own motivations are, your motivations, you know, you'll be seeing the motivations of other people when people are bullshitting you, when people are spinning you a line, when people are not really being true to who they are, or, you know, or they're saying one thing and doing another. You're not going to be here for it this month. You will be calling people out and saying, look, you know what, I'm not up for that. If you're going to chat shit to my face and be all of this, you know, or behind my back and be all of this to my face, I'm not here for it. If you are going to try and sell me a story and say, oh, you know, I'll be there to do this for you, and da, 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 I'll see right through that. You know, this month your inbuilt bullshit detector is going to be on fluke, whatever that means. Yeah, I just had to say it. I couldn't help myself. But you know, that's the truth of it. You know, that inbuilt sort of detector system is just going to be firing off this month. Whenever you come across anything or anyone that is just not authentic, you're going to be like, do you know what? I'm not here for all of that. Just move on. So the transformation comes because the Death card represents death. It's letting something go in order to make way and space for the new to come through. So the Death card in your communications is saying you'll not only be aware, and you know, because it's the opposition with the 5 of Swords, so this is you speaking up. The Death card is you letting something go and being very vocal about doing so and the reason that you are doing it. So this kind of says to me that that whole sort of, I want to be seen for this, that's going to take a back seat this month. This will be the month where you start to get very discerning about what it is that you want to share with people and what it is that you know, this is you getting clear on what the need to know basis is. Who are your ride or dies? Who are your people that, you know, this is you getting discerning about that. Who are my people and what do I want to share with specific people? What groups of people or individuals do I want to share certain stuff with? Can I even trust that person? Are they here for me or are they here for themselves? You know, your communication style is going to change this month because you'll be seeing yourself and your motivations clearer than ever. And in being that clear in yourself at a really core Scorpio deep level down to, you know, balls to bone, when you're that clear in yourself, you know what belongs to other people. You know what isn't actually a part of you, what is somebody else's illusion as opposed to the one that you've created for yourself. So that's really, really exciting. You know, I take that as a good thing. And then finally, your heart and your hearth. So this is your relationships, your intimate ties, your familial and your friendship circles. Oh, look at that. For those of you that are single, this is fun and frolics and enjoyment and beauty and gifting and love and laughter and all of those things. It doesn't necessarily say that you'll meet a soulmate this month, but there will be somebody that you have a serious jonesing for, or a serious crush on, or somebody might reveal that they have a serious crush on you. But this is definitely the month where something like that comes to light, where somebody comes and says, look, you know what, I'm into you in a big way. I really am. For those of you that are single, this is, you know, you will discover a desire and a crush between you and somebody else, and it's just going to be like, damn, like seriously. Because the Scorpio, like I said, death card is Scorpio. That's the deep. It's the, you know, what I really desire. And then you got the Sun card, you know, in the heart and the hearth. So this is, for those of you that are single, this is you finding somebody that really turns you on and plugs you in ways that you haven't really thought about before. For those of you that are in established relationships, this is you and your partner having that same experience and looking at each other with brand new eyes and saying, wow, I remember why we got together. I remember who we are together. I remember what we're capable of. I remember the fire, and I got tingles up my spine because, you know, I'm looking at my ring and I'm thinking, wow, you know, I'm partnered and I'm here for this. You know, I'm not here for any of this shit communication and these bullshitting people and these backstabbers and stuff. That's all going to phase itself out. But I'm definitely here for all of this. Definitely, you know, for the excitement and the passion and the heartfelt and, you know, physical felt attraction and the understanding of how powerful you and your partner can be together when you're really on the same page, when you're really on the same level, you know, when you're both looking outward in the same direction and seeing that exact same vision. You know, for those of you that are partnered, me and my partner did this month. We created a vision board of the things that we want and would like to achieve in our lives, and we look at it daily. For those of you that are partnered, do the same this month. You know, create something that makes you think, yeah, you know what, these are the goals that we want, and we're going to visualize this stuff daily. But yeah, you know, for familial and friendship ties, this is going to be a really social month, Leo. But be discerning about what you share and who with. And that's the only drawback that I would say. Well, not even a drawback, that's the only warning that I would give you, because this looks like a really enjoyable and social month. And like I said, you know, finances and money are going to be really good from here on in. Just don't waste or squander them. And then finally, in your for your key to the month, you have ooh. So one's jumped straight out and it's face down, so let's see. Bam, you have the Hanged Man. Isn't it interesting that you guys often get this card, especially when I do this deck as the card. Now, it's interesting because one of the things that I always say about this is the Hanged Man represents how do you best get what it is that you most desire. You best achieve what you most desire by letting it come to you. The Hanged Man is an experience of detachment. So what and who leaves your life this month is it's gone, it's going. You need to let them go. It also talks about not, you know, because usually this card represents the sign of the you know, the martyr, because it has that Christ consciousness feeling, because it's linked very heavily to Pisces. But for me, this is kind of saying don't be a martyr this month. You know, decide what you want to stand for and what you don't want to stand for. Decide what you want in your life and what you don't, and let the rest work itself out. Just show up, be who you are, do what you do every single day, and walk your path and walk your truth ultimately. Don't compromise who you are. Be sure and be certain that what you want and need is going to continually manifest in your life. When you see these two together, your community, your money and your materials and how they work, this is kind of you saying to people, you know what, if you're a drain on my resources, I'm really not interested. this, your money and your materials and your communication, is kind of saying to yourself, be discerning about. So if you're, you know, if things start to, when things start to improve for you financially, don't share it with every Tom, Dick and Harry. They don't need to know. It's just not their business. You know, this is, you know, especially with the opposition here, that kind of says to me that this month you will be going through a period of really deciding who you want to tell what to. And more importantly, this is you like, you know what, if you're bullshitting me and I sense that for a second, you're gone. I haven't got time for it anymore. You're not hanging around anymore. You just realise that you haven't got any time to waste. For single people and for coupled Leos, this is deep desire and attraction. This is somebody that really switches you on and presses your buttons. And then the Hanged Man just comes in to say, you know what, just be on for the ride. Just be along for the journey. It's going to be an amazing one. Just enjoy it. The month of May looks like a really exciting one, and I, as a Leo ascendant, cannot wait for all of this to start to manifest. Like I said, for those of you that are, you know, partnered especially, make a vision board with your partner and start to visualize the things that you guys would like to achieve together. I wish you an abundance of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance itself, Leo. Have an amazing month, and I will see you very soon for more videos. Take care.